Hey, 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 happy Friday. So, for today's Ask Padma series, I wanted to share a little bit about what do you do when you feel low, when you feel blue, when you don't feel that good. So, just give me a second. I'm just going to quickly share this to my timeline so other people can watch this as well. And as I'm doing this, if you are watching this live, share with me where you're watching this from. If you're watching the replay, and share with me where you're watching from. And then also, this may be too personal to answer publicly, but do you feel blue? Do you feel sad? Do you feel anxious? And the reason I'm asking you to share if you feel comfortable sharing publicly is because there is so much power to learning from each other and also knowing that you're not alone. So when I was growing up, my tendency has always leaned toward anxiety. Like I remember being anxious as a 4-year-old. My son is 5, right? Like I'm like, wow, what was going on in my head back then that made me so anxious? And in my conscious memory, I can't think of anything that really happened for me to feel anxious. But for whatever reason, the anxiety was always there, like as in the back burner, like almost I would just feel this knot in my stomach. And obviously back then, I didn't know how to put words to what I was feeling. I just felt what I was feeling, and I would just feel so like overwhelmed and like not that, like just being kind of lost. And that continued for the longest time. And then that turned into panic attacks when I was a teenager. And I was very shy, like all these things, right? I mean, now you'll see me, you're like, are you the same person? And I know that these things now come up when I'm hitting up against something, when I'm hitting up against something that, hits up my belief system, or like it hits up against that, that feeling, right? Like it hits up against something. That's when all these things come up. But in general, I don't feel that anymore. And I had to work really, really hard at it. So you may not have had any extreme things like this happen to you, or this experience might be too extreme for you, but every one of us feels overwhelmed. Or like, maybe Sunday evening comes and you're like, oh my God, Monday is coming. I'm like just not feeling like, oh, I don't want to deal with Monday, right? That is feeling blue. And this time of the year, a lot of us start to feel not that you feel blue is the right word I can say. Today it's like 61 degrees in New England, so you might be like, oh, this is fine. But there are days when it's so cold and it's March and you're like, God damn it. I'm sorry, I should not be swearing, but sometimes it comes up. So like, oh, just enough is enough. Get the sun out. Where is spring? Where is summer? Like, I am done with this, right? If you can relate to any of these things, please put a 1 in the comment below, because you're not alone. You're just not alone. And the reason I'm bringing all of these things up is because there are tools that you can use every single day in order to not let this be your reality. If this is you, there's help. There are things that you can do every single day. For me, that involves making sure that I eat right, making sure that I exercise. I mean, there are days when I don't exercise and I will feel really, really low. Hi, Casey. Thank you for watching. So exercise, you are an exercise person, Casey. So maybe you can share a little bit about like how that impacts, right? Like it impacts your mind. It brings in those endorphins in your body that allows your mind to settle down. Sometimes if my mind is going constantly, I will go for a walk, I'll go work out, I'll kind of take myself out of that space, and it really helps to clear your mind. The other thing obviously is making sure you eat good nutritious food. Food affects your mind, gut, brain body connection. Brain gut connection. So what you eat will impact your mind. This is why where studies have shown that if you eat, sorry, this is not a judgment on anyone. This is just something that popped into my head. They've shown studies where people have eaten at McDonald's for years on end, and it affects, it makes them depressed. Again, not a judgment. I'm just quoting some of the studies that I've read. And once in a while is fine, but like if you eat that constantly, it does affect and impact your brain. In my family, that is not a place that we go to. Like that's just not how we live. I mean, that's just not what we do. So the important food, making sure that you exercise. I love using essential oils. Essential oils transform the mind like this, the emotions like this. So make sure if you have Young Living essential oils, like those are obviously the ones that I recommend. I love putting oils on. The moment I start to notice some of these thoughts coming in, I will literally just take a drop of, this is Stress Away, and I will just do this. I'll take a big whiff and it changes how I feel immediately. It's amazing the impact of it because of the brain and the limbic, the nose and the limbic connection, which is where the emotions are stored. This is the storehouse of the emotions. It changes it very quickly. The other thing that I often use, I've used it throughout my therapy practice, but in the last year I've combined the essential oils with tapping. Tapping is emotional freedom technique. A lot of people know it's becoming very popular again. It came out in the 80s, I think, and I forget the name of the person who did that. So it's basically tapping on certain meridian points where it impacts, and then with affirmations, and then it changes how you feel, your emotions, even physical body. It can impact all of that. So combining oils and EFT is really, really amazing. Currently in my essential oils group, my education group, we're doing a whole series on conquering emotions where we're going in depth. We're doing this, we're doing EFT and oils. We're also doing hypnosis and essential oils, everything in combination with essential oils. It's really, really amazing. My group is like loving it. So I actually thought of offering a free masterclass for you guys around this topic of dealing with the blues. So this was what was, a lot of people have reached out to me saying, what can I do when I'm feeling under the, mentally under the weather, feeling blue, feeling sad, feeling depressed, like all those things. So I was like, all right, I can teach a free masterclass where we'll be talking about EFT and essential oils together. I will post the link in the caption so you can register for it. It is free, but registration is required. And if you share this, I'm going to send you a special gift because I want a lot of people to know about this. This is such an important tool. And the amazing thing about these tools that I'm going to teach you there, you can use it anywhere. You can use it any place, anytime, for a lot of different issues, physical or emotional, and it will impact that. If you are already a part of my oily group, if you're an oily member in my group, then you have a different masterclass that is coming up next Thursday just for you guys, where we're really going deep into that one. But this one that I'm going to be teaching, this is on a Sunday, March 24th. And that is more like we're going to keep it on the surface a little bit because, I want to just give you some basic information so I'm not overwhelming you. My oily group is like really used to all this information. They already know a lot of the basic information, so we're going to be diving deep. So any questions, please put in the comments or PM me and share it with your friends, share it with people who could benefit from this. Tag anybody who could benefit from this. And my hope is you can join and use some of these tools. These tools are really going to be beneficial for you. Thank you so much. And Casey, you're saying you've been going twice daily because you need it. It's right. Like exercise really does that. It really helps you with moving. When you move your body, like it really shifts the emotions as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Take good care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.